Hello.
Hey, hello. And today I am with a beautiful lady, Frida Sophie Schartz. Is
Sure.
that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Hi, Dega. So lucky. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. We are going to talk about one of my favorite things in
Hmm.
the life that was not before business and how conclusion and question can affect our business. And you actually picked this topic, so I will love to know what would you like to talk about this.
Well, I would like to talk about or ask you guys to look at where you have concluded that something should be this way or that way, but it clearly doesn't work, maybe. You're just not willing to see it because you've concluded it should be that way. And what if there
You,
was another possibility?
you basically summed my whole life in two sentences.
How does it
Before
get
access
better?
consciousness, I was like, I'll wake up, go like, this is the way it should be.
Yeah,
Everything going to go perfectly,
yeah,
and I would just go into my day and nothing would show up the way I thought it would. Nothing would work and I
yeah.
would be end up miserable.
That sounds so much fun.
Exactly. And like for me actually I get like that was like one of the places that I am extremely grateful for Dr. Dane here and Gary Douglas, which like both of them is the founder of like Gary Douglas is the founder and Dr. Dane here is the co-founder of Access Consciousness. And like he like I would like watch people on YouTube and I would like see them like actually giving me like some basic conclusions that they use it in their life that allow them to change whatever they were trying to change, and it worked for them. And then I will take that conclusion, put it in, try to put it into my life, and it will like work for like 1 hours, like, or I would like feel myself like everything was like working and everything was like perfect, and then in the next hour I would be like everything would just like come back to the way it is. And Dane like wrote in one of his book that I love is Being You Changing the World. Like this is a book and it's actually all the Access Consciousness tool as well to actually give you questions for you to discover what's true for you. Like we don't actually have answers for you, but with the use of the tools you can actually find what works for you. For me, like that was, I'm gonna say like it was just like so relaxing, like first
Yeah,
time in my life like someone was not trying to give me the right answer they decided that was true for me.
yeah, that's so true. And
Mhm.
also, like, even if, like, personally, maybe I can't think of an example right now, but like, I probably thought with some things like, oh, I always have to, for example, study this way. This works for me, you know? And maybe it
Mhm.
did work for one exam and it was awesome. But then if I don't go into question and ask myself, okay, is this going to work now? Or what is going to work now? And how does it get any better than this? Like, I will never be able to have a greater result because I will go back to how I did it before, you know? Like,
Yeah, and actually
yeah,
Christopher Hughes like named that as like a being like a sausage factory. Like you just like make one product because it
yeah,
works, then you just like a sausage factory. You just like trying to like reproduce the same product all over again and trying to sell that, rather than being in question and being present with the creation and looking at, okay, now what else is possible, like now what will work, rather than going like, oh, I did this and this in the past and it bring me what I wanted, so that means I achieve the right conclusion.
yeah.
But is that really working for you, as Frida said?
Yeah. And also, is there even right or wrong? Or can you just go and make mistakes and then, oh, okay, now I know this didn't work. What else can I choose now?
Oh, now you just went out. That's not, what do you mean there is no right or wrong?
Mhm.
What do you mean you can make wrong choices or get awareness? Isn't it all the businesses about getting it right, getting it perfect, and avoiding all the wrong choices so you never fail?
Oh, yes. Oh, and there's
And
a question that Simone Milasas, who wrote the book Drive Business, gives, and it's like, what would you choose if you knew you couldn't fail? And I love this question because it's like, you can't really fail if you, first of all, if you don't give up, if you just keep going no matter what, if you like have a target and want to go there. And secondly, like, you will always learn something, no matter if you screw up or if it turns out great, you will have a new awareness. So what else is possible?
yeah, and exactly. And thank you so much for actually saying that, because like I personally know, like the way like I have been taught, it was like based on judgment, like avoid to make a wrong choice and make sure you are going in the right path so you don't like fail hard. And it just, I actually become in a place that I was actually afraid to make a choice. Like I would actually didn't want to make a choice, because if I make a choice and if it's the wrong choice, I would fail, and like then what? Like it was just like a disaster. But like really like playing with that question, and this is a question that you can apply to every area of my life. Like what if you allow yourself to fail, like with your choices, and like rather than looking at, oh, like I failed, like what awareness that I got from this, which actually make every choice like profitable in your life, rather than just going like, oh, I make this a wrong choice, so like that's why I'm wrong. Like when you actually look from that perspective of, okay, like I make this choice and it didn't work, so now what else is possible? And I get like, this is like one of the things that we're talking with Frida is like the business and different class, and it how like it's like a, you can see it, it's like a huge manual, and it have like so many pragmatic tools for to actually like create a business that's have a momentum and like have more ease in it, because like in this reality there's like so much like structures around like what is business, like how you should be, how you should behave, what you should be choosing, what you shouldn't be choosing. And like for me, I was like when I was just like tapping into all of that structures, and I don't know like how was it for you, but I was like, I don't want to be in business, I don't want to do business, I don't want to see anything about business, like this is just so boring, like and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, even as you're talking about it, I'm super aware of all the people being like, okay, but business is like, I go to the company and I do my job and then I go home and then I'm out of business. But what if that's not true? Like, what if your life is your business, maybe, and your business is your life? And like for me now, working with you and Rachel, it's so fun because like I'm doing some graphics and I don't know, I sit on my couch and I scribble around in a book and I do some editing on my laptop in my bed or on the desk, and that's my business, or that's part of my business now. And I'm like, how did I get so lucky? Like, this is so much fun. What if you could have
Yeah,
that as well?
exactly. And like, did you already decided that you cannot have that, or like if something that you are like so good at and it's because it's so easy for you, like did you decide you just have to do it for free because you don't have put any effort into it, like, oh,
Yeah,
like I'm
it's
doing
not
this is like,
valuable then. Like, if you don't put effort,
yeah,
it's not valuable.
exactly, like if you don't have put any effort then it has no value, rather
Yeah.
than actually looking at, oh, like if I can actually, I'm doing a lot, I'm doing this with a lot of fun, it's super easy for me, like what would it take for me to actually start earning from like money from this? And I get like that was one of the places that I had a lot of resistance as well, like the places that I was doing like so much ease, I was like who's gonna value this, like it's just so easy for me, like everybody could do it. But actually that's not exactly the way it is. Like sometimes for something that you do with so much ease, it could be like very difficult for other people. Example, like with me and Rachel, like I'm brilliant with moving all the classes around and looking at, okay, like what's next, what's coming next, and what should be adding to this class, and just like moving things. And for Rachel, that's like not her superpowers. Her superpower is communicating with people, and just like she can actually like talk with the wall, like when she see people, somebody, she's go like hi. And I'm like okay. And she just like start chatting. And like for me, like I don't actually have that superpower with like communicating with everyone, and it just like that's how we actually contribute to each other's. And when we work together, like everything become greater. And with you with the graphics, like I don't even know how you do them. So yeah, thank you so much for saying that. So yeah, if you're out there and like really looking for a different possibility with business and the way you are generating your life, like there is some like very pragmatic tools. And actually, Frida was just like mentioning about like the Joy of Business book. So if you want to like go for a deeper dive, like Rachel is going to start a 10-week business and different class that's starting on November 9th. And it's every Thursday 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central European time. For 10 weeks, it's just brilliant. Like for me, like normally it was like a 3-day class, and now like they take it over 10 weeks, which you can like come onto the class, explore the manual, come next week and ask your questions and have that support for 10 weeks. It's just gold. And if you are not choosing to come to the class for now, like you can always come to another class in the future or attend with another facilitator. Or I personally highly suggest you to read the Joy of Business book if you haven't read it yet.
It's also on Audible. And I think actually Simone is reading it herself.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey. Beautiful. Is there anything that you would love to add, Miss Frida, before we finish up?
Yeah. What if you guys couldn't do business wrong? Like, what if you were doing it all the time either way, and you could just ask for it to be greater and more fun and joyful? Hence, the joy of business. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Wonderful. So thank you so much for being and doing this live with me. And I'm so grateful for everybody that is watching now and in the futures. I hope this conversation was a contribution to you. Hey.
Awesome.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Hey.